Hi, Rick. Welcome back, everybody, to Carl and Rick Talk Risk. How are you?
Awesome, but I'm incredibly envious. I have to admit, I love your red chandelier
Yeah. The
slash lone
I
light
think you'll
bulb.
like.
I just think that is so Dutch, so classic Dutch.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. That one we bought here, but you see, it's supposed to match that Cuban rum poster that you can see right there, next at the end of my finger, the red and white stripes. I think there's a reflection on it, so you can't see the rum bottle. But that is a Cuban rum poster that my wife got when in Cuba and brought back, and yeah, we really like it, so we try to match things with it. So hence the red.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Rick, if you could have seen me 15 minutes ago, um, yeah, my wife just got back with oliebollen, which is the Dutch. It's basically a big donut, big round, huge round donut, caked in powdered sugar. It had melted, which was perfect because if it hasn't melted, you go in to bite that, you look like a cloud afterwards. It just goes everywhere. And yeah, big mistake. But this one was perfect, squishy, little jam in the middle. Little, it's got dried fruit and everything. So I mentioned just in case anybody visits the Netherlands this time of the year, look for oliebollen. You will see them everywhere. They're pretty good. Yes.
And there you go, your public service announcement of the day.
Oh,
This podcast brought to you by the Dutch Tourism and
yeah.
Ollie Bottom Society, whatever the heck you call it. But anyhow,
Yeah, well, it's we like to be multifaceted on this podcast, Rick, right? Bit of travel, bit of risk. You never know what you're gonna get. Um,
we never know what we're going to get. That's for damn sure.
exactly. We don't know. You don't know. Um, Rick, it's tomorrow's the end of 2025. Unbelievably, this year has flown by, and
Unbelievably, this year has existed, but that's
yeah,
another podcast for another time.
I know, and that's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to dive into a bit. Like this year was made out to be so catastrophic. So many things happened that we thought, well, this is it. However things work until now, it's not going to work like that in the future. Something is going to break. And one of those moments was April 1st. April 1st, not not just April Fool's Day, but it was Tariff Day. It was Liberation Day by the U.S. administration to place tariffs, increase tariffs on a lot of different countries based on the formula that they had. They had the great, signboards out on the White House lawn to show the figures. And the market crashed. Rates were going bonkers. People were panicking, really, right? And I looked at the stock market index the other day. I think the U.S. So the S&P 500, and it falls off a cliff, right? I don't know. I should do this in reverse so it'll look right. But it goes, it gets to March and then April 1st, probably a little before, in fact. And since then, it's just been 45-degree line. Stocks have come back, deals have been made, mergers are happening all the time. I'm reading about them in the Wall Street Journal. Life carried on. Um, Maybe first, do you get the same sense? I kind of feel like nothing has really changed.
No, actually, I think a lot has changed. Uh, um, I, I truly do. Okay. Um, it appears like not a lot has changed. The market's basically recovered. I was doing a lot of media interviews at the time, about what's happening with, financial markets, what should investors do. And there's one comment that I almost made in a live interview that I'm really kicking myself that I didn't. So it was on a day in which the market was particularly bad. And I want to say in this live interview, look, the reality is that tomorrow is Trump is going to say something else, and you'll be calling to ask me why the markets are up so much. Okay, I really wish I said that, because that, of course, is exactly what happened. Okay,
Yeah.
I think that a lot has changed because, first off, almost every economist in the world has been basically put to shame. Okay, because if you said that terrorists were going to create this big, beautiful world, you
Mhm.
really haven't been vindicated yet. And
Yeah.
if you said that the tariffs are going to destroy the world, well, that really hasn't happened yet either.
Yeah.
But what they have done is they have started, in my opinion, a massive um, relocation and a massive rethink.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is going to be the lasting impression. It's going to have a lasting impression in academia. No one cares about academia. Uh, but I think in terms of where entrepreneurs are thinking in terms of global structure, of course, you have this other major force coming. You have tariffs kind of going this way. You have AI kind of going this way. And
Yeah.
eventually, they're going to meet. And when you have a collision of two major things coming together, no one knows what is going to happen. It
Yeah.
could be like the Reese's commercial, the peanut butter coming together with the chocolate, and you get something awesome,
Yeah.
or it could be a massive train wreck. And here's the thing is this 2025 should have been and should be seen 5 years from now as a massive boom for the risk management industry. And I think as an industry, our response has been pathetic.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Now,
but
having said
I'm.
that, our viewership just went down 100%. Our hate mail's gone up significantly, but I think that we, as an industry, and perhaps it's just like everyone else, we're trying to digest what the heck is actually going on.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the flood of new ideas that should be coming.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to drill down on why you think yeah, risk managers haven't done a good job. Is it because um yeah, they didn't see the nuance that you were just talking about, that they either fell into one of these extremes and didn't kind of take a step back and say, well, let's see how it plays out. It depends on this, it depends on that. Interactions, like you said, the Reese's pieces. Um, yeah. So yeah, I think I can get behind that as well. And to me, that's also what makes the job so fun. There's no getting it right as a risk manager, but being curious about, and I think there are a few cases where those forces are coming together, AI and tariffs, and you see it in critical minerals and rare earths. You've got tariffs because um, yeah, a lot of countries do want to encourage their domestic production, but also AI needs a lot of copper, a lot of rare earth, a lot of build out of batteries and data centers and all kinds of stuff. Um, and you got to get it from somewhere, and you can't fall behind, right? You got to be the first mover on this stuff, right? You don't want to be the yeah. So yeah, they are sort of coming together, and it'll be interesting how it plays out.
I'm not so sure that being the first mover is key. I think that history shows us that with disruptive technologies, um, uh, being the second more nimble mover might actually be advantageous. But you
Yeah.
know, uh, who who knows? You know,
Mhm.
here's the thing: is I think it's interesting to do the thought experiment. 200 years from now, how will this generation be viewed? How will it be viewed politically? How will it be viewed economically? How will it be viewed in terms of risk management? Uh, 20 years ago, if we had a podcast on risk management, everyone would go, what the hell is that? Or they would have thought that was an insurance broadcast. We'd be talking about, cancer rates or car accident rates.
Yeah.
Okay, not anything close to enterprise risk management. Even financial risk management was, a tiny, tiny, tiny little subset of nerds walking around.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of the glory age for the Gilded Age for risk management. And how will it be viewed? Our response here and our developments here.
Yeah.
Here's a question. What new thinking came out of risk management this year because of the tariffs? How many risk management analysis, and here I'm beating my one horse that I have. How many risk analysis looked at the potential upside risk of tariffs?
Mm-hmm.
How many financial institutions did that analysis? How many corporations did that analysis? How many political pundits did that analysis?
Mm-hmm.
And this comes back to a fundamental problem with media and with risk management. Is if it bleeds, it leads. If it's bad news, if someone got, run over by a steamroller and their blood and guts are all over the place, that's awesome. If someone, wins the lottery, that's, interesting news for, 12 nanoseconds.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well said. I can't remember reading a single article like that getting into well, what are the good things that could come out of this?
One of the things I try to, tell my students is, and this is really my hope for them, they're going to, relatively top university. I'm trying to challenge them, rather than, giving them all the rubrics and the road stuff. And so with that development of the critical thinking and whatnot is to embrace VUCA.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that in uncertain times such as this is when we have tariffs coming on, where in reality we never really had a massive onslaught of a major change in economic thinking as tariffs. Where were the people screaming, we've got a great risk department. We don't know what's going to happen, but man, we can deal with VUCA. Mm-hmm. We are going to use this massive VUCA event as a way to show the value of our risk management department and the comparative and competitive advantage of our risk department.
Yeah, exactly.
Or risk thinking.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, that we have flexible frameworks. We can stress test these kind of events. We can manage it.
We can think.
Yeah,
we can think faster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rick, I think in the interest of time, I'm interested in learning what you're reading over the new year as well. I think I want to go first too, because I think it touches on something you said, and we were talking before the podcast as well. I'm reading, I don't have it on me, but Winston Churchill's volumes on the Second World War. One of the times where one of the previous times when tariffs did arise. I don't find parallels yet, but I'm quite intrigued by. First, you've got Churchill, who is a fantastic writer, but he's also there in the room making the decisions and talking about really thorny issues. And there's something to be learned there for risk managers, as you're saying, that the news media portrays things in a very black and white way, in a way that everything is doom and gloom, and it's good to step back and embrace VUCA exactly, and make up your own mind. So anyway, that's what I'm hoping to get through in my downtime over New Year's. What's on your nightstand? What are you reading?
Well, again, I don't have it with me, so I'm going to. I don't know who the author is off the top of my head. I'm reading a book right now on, and again, I'm going to mess up the title, but it's basically, it's good to suck at something, I think is the title. Yeah, I figured it was so appropriate because I suck at so many things. Also reading a great textbook on systems theory as I try to push out my own book for next year on digitization and the need to get on systems thinking. I just finished a book by Robert Carroll on working and how he produced basically his biography of LBJ, where I learned a lot more about the American political system than I probably wanted to know about it. And also, I've got several. I'm kind of going back to first principles on several actually getting the most out of AI for dummies type books. So I'm trying to see if I can pick up anything. After reading all the technical stuff on AI, I figured I might want to look at some of the more down to earth stuff. So I've got a whole portfolio.
A lot on the go.
Also rereading for like the 10th time C.S. Lewis's Screw Tape Letters, which I think are A, hilarious, and B, a good guide of thinking about how you live your daily life. But
okay, nice. Okay, perfect. Yeah, if you want to share, viewers, if you want to share what you're reading, what you're interested in at the moment, please let us know in the comments. Otherwise, Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2026, and we'll be back then. Cheers,
have fun,
everybody.
everyone.